Hello, so we are looking at what would be question 4 on your paper 1, Medicine Through Time exam paper. And this is your starting to get into your longer answer questions. This question is explain why there was continuity in treatment and prevention during the Renaissance period. And this is a 12-mark question. It does state that you can use miasma or regime sanitas in your answer, but if you don't know what these mean, as usual, you do not need to include them and just have your own 3 points. However, you must make sure you include information of your own. Okay. This question is worth 12 marks, so it should take you about 15 minutes when you're in the exam to answer this question, okay? But like all your 12-mark questions, and this is no different from your civil rights and Vietnam War 12-mark question, and which will be your Elizabeth paper exam question, you will need to have 3 P paragraphs. Okay, so I would start off by planning what your 3 P paragraphs are going to be. And looking at this question, so it's always a good idea to plan so that you know, and also it's good for the examiner if you've got somewhere written in the corner your 3 points and maybe a few bits of detail that you're going to add in for this P paragraph. Because then the examiner, we always try to positively mark, and if we can see where you're going, that's very helpful. We don't have very long when we're marking each paper. So this question's asking about continuity. So why did things stay the same? So why did things stay the same in comparison to our study of the medieval period? So what things have we examined during this lesson, in our previous lessons online, where things have stayed the same in treatment and prevention during the Renaissance period? So we're not talking about change here, we're talking about things that stayed the same. And I would agree that my first paragraph would be on miasma. So it'd be on miasma. And I would also put in regime sanitas as well. And I probably might talk about the church. By the way, I'm new with using this system, so I haven't quite worked out how to type with it. So you'll have to excuse me while I'm trying to get familiar with using this online program. As normal with your explain why questions, you'll want to structure it like this. So in your P paragraph formation, point, evidence, explain, and you need to do 3 of these. 3 P paragraphs. So my first paragraph, in order to answer this question, is going to be about miasma. So you make your point. So one reason there was continuity in treatment and prevention during the Renaissance period is because of the belief in miasma. Yeah, we know that to be true. We know that in the medieval period, people thought that miasma was one of the leading causes of what caused disease. And this is the same during the Renaissance period. Therefore, treatments and preventions were linked to preventing bad air or trying to avoid bad air. Right, so once we've made that point, then you need to offer some explanation. Miasma is the belief that there is bad air which caused diseases. However, more steps were taken in comparison with the medieval period to remove bad air from the streets. For example, homeowners in English towns were fined for not cleaning the streets outside of their house and projects were set up to drain swamps and bogs. And then we've added some quite nice, detailed and specific knowledge there, which really links into the AO2, or this 6 mark section here of your marks, okay? And then we need to make sure we're getting to the explain why question. So that's why we have this explain section at the end. And that's really making sure that we're keeping a consistent focus on the question. So miasma meant that there was continuity in treatment and prevention because people made effort to remove bad air from their surroundings. Again, that's our explain question. So that's your first P paragraph, and I don't mind if you use this. Just make sure when you're writing this question for your teacher that you highlight that this is the model answer somehow. Okay, but you do need to write the other 2 P paragraphs. So I would suggest the next P paragraph that you write is about regime sanitaire, and you can look at your worksheets from today and the answers are on there. All the answers are there. So we know that regime, which is having a routine of cleanliness, so bathing every day or washing yourself every day, perhaps brushing your teeth every day, having this routine existed in the medieval period and also existed during the Renaissance period. However, it became a little bit less than the medieval period, just because people were worried about syphilis in the bathhouses. But people certainly continued to have this regime of cleanliness. Okay? And then your third paragraph, I would suggest, is going to be about the church, because even though the church and the role of the church declined a little bit during the Renaissance period, people still predominantly believed in Christianity, and they still looked towards Christianity to have the answers for treating and preventing diseases during the Renaissance period. Okay, so that would be a nice 3 paragraph to explain why questions. Any questions at all, please email or message your teacher and show my homework.